Hey, this is AJ with LIB Magazine. Today we're here with Eclectic Ales. We're going to go inside and try some great beers, have a good time. Come follow me.
Hey, how you doing? How you doing?
Today we're here with Eclectic Ales, and we're going to be sampling some beers. Today we have Frank, Joe, and Troy, and we have a great sampling of different types of beers. A little about beers.
Let's start with a smoked beer. A smoked beer is essentially the regular grain you would use, but they smoke it into different kinds of wood. So it gives a different kind of flavor. It's not like you're dumping smoke in there. It's not overwhelming, but it's going to give a very different feel. We use this a lot to make like beer cheese or food pairings and stuff. You know, you can marinate chicken with it, anything you want. I mean, drinking is probably the best way to go, but very light. It's only about 5.5%, 6%.
And how long does this take that beer to make?
Fermentation takes about 21 days. Bottling, carbonation, well, I do it naturally, so it's a little bit different. It takes a little bit longer. You're letting the beer, all the sugar left in the beer, naturally carbonate in the bottle. We're not pumping pressure in there to do it, so it takes about an extra week of conditioning depending on the beer. The stronger you go, the longer it needs, because the higher alcohol in there will prevent it from fermentating further. Well, let's try some.
Cheers to the first one.
Social.
See that background flavor? The smoke?
Definitely,
Like bacon-y
definitely a little
almost?
smoke. Yeah, that's exactly what it tastes like. Like smoked bacon.
But it's alcoholic.
Ow.
Like I said, the mesquite wood smoke and the beechwood is what they smoke the grains in. It's just regular grain that you'd use, regular barley that you use for a normal beer, but they smoke it.
Okay.
This is stuff in particular is from Germany. They do really good. There's only one place in the world that makes this kind of malt because they have special ovens where they put the beechwood chips in, and that's where they all get it from. You hear beechwood and you think bad because of Budweiser,
Right.
but they don't use beechwood smoke malts. They put stuff in there to give it fake flavor. It's all sugar and nonsense. You know, high fructose corn syrup.
Mhm.
This is all natural ingredients. Like I've had a lot of smoked beers and they have that fake like ham flavor. Like if you have like gum that's like bacon flavor,
Right.
it would taste like crap.
Okay.
But this is something different, you know, a light beer with flavor in it that's not hoppy. Everybody does hoppy.
It's very popular right now.
Yes. But also, you can think about the uses for it, like with
Very good.
pairings, food and stuff.
Absolutely. Oh, this would be great with Primavera. Yeah.
Exactly. Exactly.
Put this with anything. Breakfast.
Like I said, I use it to make beer cheese. You know, you just basically melt cheese into this beer.
That'd be great.
Just like a Gouda,
Nice
something
pretzel,
smoky.
yeah.
Dip a pretzel in there, it's molten. It's amazing. This is the same stuff. I'm gonna have a little more because I like shot that down like an animal.
Yeah, let's enjoy it a little bit now.
Yeah.
So 21 days to make and
Roughly
2.1
the
seconds to drop down.
turnaround from the day you cook it, it's gonna end up being a month. Like, you can rush it faster than that, but I don't believe in that. Like, we like to take our time, let the beer all develop, because it's gonna taste different.
Right.
If you rush it and pump the carbonation in it, you can have it ready in 2 weeks, really.
Wow.
But your quality's gonna suffer for it.
Mhm.
So I'd rather take your time, do it right.
That was like a breakfast. This is awesome.
It's different, too, you know? Something very different.
It smells like the griddle that you just made breakfast on. You know?
I like having something like this on tap at all times because it's something different.
Yeah, absolutely.
It's a little smoke flavor, but it's also light. You know, this is a very approachable beer. Not everything we do is very approachable.
And you said this was 5.5.
5.5.
Okay.
We generally are much north of that.
Yeah.
It's going to get a lot worse with the next 2 selections.
Worse or better?
Well,
We'll
alcohol
find
wise,
out.
we're going up to 14% alcohol with the next.
Okay.
So
I mean,
up just a little
I've
bit.
had bacon beers in the past, and they've always been like 10.4, 9 area.
I think the smoke
good,
is
but-
probably better suited in a lighter beer.
Right.
Because you can get the flavor without having to overwhelmingly smoke it to have that flavor come out.
Right. I think
Yeah.
the one beer I had was Rogue. You know, they
Rogue.
did the donut. They
Oh
do the-
no, I didn't like that at all.
They-
That was the flavor I was talking about before. When you
Right,
get
right.
something that's supposed to be bacon flavor and it tastes like disgusting
It's a
ham.
bit much. It was good. We drank
You know,
a few bottles of it, but it was a bit much. This is
It's
very
it's
subtle.
very expensive too
Yeah,
by the
yeah,
bottle.
yeah.
Those 750s are the only way you can get them.
craft
Such
bottles.
an ugly bottle.
You weren't feeling the pink?
No.
A little piggy on it?
Such a
No, but this is great. It's subtle flavor, but it's strong. You know, it's right there. You get
It's,
this.
it's a powerful, think about like a 5% beer you normally see would be hoppy like that, overwhelmingly hoppy. This is more on the maltier side. You get this all flavor from malt. We didn't add any, I didn't put bacon grease or anything in it. It's all flavor from malt.
And you're not
which is
pushing it
very
as a
interesting.
bacon beer either.
No,
You know,
it
it's a
shouldn't
smoky
be.
beer.
And it shouldn't be.
You know, let the palate pick up on what you think it
That
is.
instantly makes me think of
Perfect.
pumpkin beer and why I can't stand it.
Exactly.
Because nobody actually uses pumpkin in it.
No, there's no
And
pumpkin.
they
It's
call it
cinnamon
that.
and brown sugar
Most,
and nutmeg.
some of the places that do, they use squash.
Mhm.
And they still call it pumpkin beer, which I don't understand. I don't think it would be a bad thing for a beer to be called a squash beer. Just call it that.
Yeah.
It don't sell because of the fads. It's not gonna sell because it's not a pumpkin beer. Like
Yeah.
everyone gets a little crazy. I might want a little wash. There's a bucket over there, Troy.
Yeah.
You might want a clean flavor for this. It's a little bit different.
Oh, drink it? Yeah, it works too.
I learned that trick at Great American Beer Fest.
True. So where was the Great American Beer Fest?
That was in Colorado. I went last year. I unfortunately missed it this year. I was very mad about it, but I can't fly, so I had to take a train all the way to Colorado, which took 40 hours
Wow.
with a 6-hour layover in Chicago, and I didn't want to talk about it. So I didn't go again this year, needless
Right,
to
right.
say. But that was the best beer fest I've ever been to in my life.
It's definitely worth it then, huh?
I have a hard time paying for any other festival after that.
Wow.
You could walk through there for 3 days and not hit every booth.
That's incredible.
All the people actually own the breweries were there. It wasn't a rep from a beer distributor or anything. The people were there, and they were anxious to meet you and pour you a beer. It was very interesting.
That's great. So you had your home brews, you had your big name
Everything.
brands, your local
From coast
breweries.
to coast, it was set up
Yeah.
from coast to coast. All West Coast beers were on one side, and you worked your way to the East Coast, or vice versa. So it's very
Epcot of
interesting.
beer.
Yes,
That's great.
and it was humongous. The place is humongous. I couldn't believe how long it took
That's awesome.
to just try and work through that.
So our own Lauren was at the beer fest. You probably saw her with her banner, LAB magazine.
Like I said, it was so big and there's so much stuff, I probably wouldn't have seen it. I remember I left there, I had all kinds of stuff on me, I was like covered in stickers and stuff from people, and I was obviously a little bit drunk.
State to state, you were stuck in the
So,
walking.
yeah, I had, I went to 3 breweries that day, because they were all on the way, like you walked over there and there's just breweries everywhere.
And you can't stay for one drink.
No, I get a flight at each place, like, hey, what's good? And then you go into there. We went to a distillery after GABF. I couldn't believe I was walking still.
Wow.
But, the scene in Denver is unbelievable. It's unbelievable how many people were there, especially GABF week. Lots of young people, lots of new, fresh places. I wish it could be like that on Long Island a little more. I hope that we start moving in that
With
direction.
the uprising of microbrews and home brews and everything on Long Island, I think we're going to get there.
I hope so.
You know,
I really hope so,
craft-
but I feel like Long Island is pricing us out. A
little
lot
bit,
of
yeah.
people, it's very difficult for them to deal with, whereas other states, if we go upstate, it would be a quarter of the price for us to open a brewery, quarter.
It's incredible.
That's not a small difference.
No,